Oh, I think I'm live. Okay, hi everybody. How's everybody doing today? I did say that I would be online talking a little bit about extending the invitation for you guys to join me on April 1st for our 21-day opportunity where we will collectively come together and focus our attention, deliberately focus our attention on positive emotions. Under the premise that when you focus on positive emotions, things happen in your mind, in your mental body, in your emotional body, and then ultimately in your physical body. And so not only will we be um, socially connecting, but we'll also be collectively raising our individual vibrations and the vibration on the planet. So do hit the link below and sign up. I am offering two resources for us to use during those 21 days, and you can get those once you click on the link, and once I have your name and your email address, I'll send you the logistics on that Zoom meeting that will be happening on April 1st. And I feel really fortunate again. I'm excited about in the time of crisis. You know, this is where you see leaders lead. Leaders lead. And as I mentioned yesterday, I feel like I'm being charged to do this. So for me, this is me leading in the time of crisis, moving beyond my own identity on what I feel and what I think, and having my gift be a contribution to humanity. So I'm really looking forward to, no matter how this shows up, that, thank you so much, Ronald, how this shows up is just being recorded in history, that in the face of crisis, this is, I think, the only crisis that I have lived while I've been on the planet, and that I have an opportunity to lead a conversation that I have been a part of and leading for 20 years I mean, it's been that long since I wrote my first book on Observe the Mask. But anyway, so yesterday, I want to know today, like, how are you guys feeling? Like, what's going on? You know, it's been a couple of weeks for me, and I can see that I have some good days and then some other days that I'm just thinking, oh my God, like, what's going to happen? And so yesterday I was really happy with, or let's just say I was content. I wasn't resisting, you know, this social distancing or this social isolation, or my relationship to the conversation of social distancing. But today I woke up with a question, and I posed the same question to you, is why now? Why is the crisis happening now? It could have happened last year. It could have happened 2 months from now. But why now? What's happening now? What's the impact of this crisis? Not the virus, but maybe what other virus would we be contracting with the social distancing and this social disconnect that we're experiencing with all of these lockdowns? So that was my question today. And, you know, I started looking at them like, you know, I remember these principles about when your environment changes, or like when conditions change, your perception changes. And when your perception changes, your desires begin to change. And this isn't something that happens individually. This is something that's going to happen to us in our pockets as we are confined and restricted to our households. But it will be happening collectively across the nation, those that have experienced it and those that are currently getting ready to go through the experience of it. And so for me, if my perception is going to change, then what is shaping that? And so the 21-day challenge will give us the opportunity to begin to direct and deliberately intend our attention towards what it is that we want to perceive. Because, the mind is not a respecter of thought. If you spend all of your time thinking about fear and anxiety and what ifs, then that's the kind of relationship that you're going to have to your experience once this passes. So I'm committed that during this time, as we focus on positive emotions and ground ourselves and lose the weight and find out what we've been waiting on or what gifts need to be invested or manifested on the planet, because it's going to get worse before it gets better. And if it gets worse before it gets better, then how are you going to be spending your time? And once you do come out on the other end, guess what? I do believe, and it's going to be recorded here, that the normal life that we experienced before we went into this crisis will not be the same environment, will not be the same condition that we will experience on the other end. Wow. So I want to know how you're feeling. Feel free to put it in the chat, like how you're feeling today, because my feelings have changed from yesterday. I'm still positive, but I'm more in that inquiry stage of why it's happening now. And if I'm isolated inside of my own quadrant and my only medium of media exchange, of course we have social media, and of course, you can read the newspaper online. But what I'm saying is that it's being controlled. The only thing that you're seeing is what you're seeing on television. And if that is a distribution of information, and how is that having a perception in your life? So I just want us to be mindful that I don't believe in coincidences. I do believe things happen for a reason. I think timing is in there. Let's see, what else do I want to say today? I just want to say that we have to begin to look beyond who we know ourselves to be. Wow. So we know, based on what happened in China, that perhaps some lives will be lost when we get through this crisis. Some call it death, some call it passing away. Whatever term you want to use, like there will be people that exit out of the planet. This is a big statement, and this is why I'm looking for specific people for the 21-day challenge, is that when people exit the planet, if we are who we say we are, which is we are spirit housed in a physical body, and I identify as April Moles, that is the label that was given to me, and I have this human experience, but I am the creator of my own experience, then there is this spiritual evolution that is occurring. Well, people will physically exit the planet, but then there'll be some people that things that no longer serve you will have to die. And are you aware of those things? Or will those things consume you such that you're mentally dead with your thinking, like old ways of thinking, and then when you come out of the crisis, you're still thinking the same way? Like people are losing their jobs, and who knows what the economy is going to look like when we get out. And then are you preparing yourself for that? And how can you prepare yourself for that if you're stuck in these lower vibrational emotions during the crisis? so that you don't even have the creativity to begin to allow what wants to be created, what wants to be birthed into this new physical realm, this new environment, this new condition that we will be in when we move through this crisis. That's me today, y'all. Ronald, yes, let me get my glasses on. Let me see what you got to say here. Wow, I got that. I'm not quite sure if you want me to repeat that, but I got it. So those are the kind of things that I'm speaking about, and what I'm offering as my gift, and I have done that for 20 years. The forum's just going to look a little bit differently. Is that in times of crisis, the unknown will be the unknown, the uncertainty is here. And how many times I've taught this in my book on weight loss equals weight loss, that we do the physical work on the body. We build the muscle so that we can sustain ourselves. Whether you're talking about riding 10 miles or walking, a 5K or something like that. But how many times do you develop the muscle, the mental muscle for what you're saying here, Ronald, is, things happen. And when things happen, when environments shift and conditions shift, it shifts your perception. But unless you can understand that even in the face of crisis, there is opportunity. And unless you're trafficking in these higher vibrational frequencies, they may be coming to you, but you can't accept them. You can't receive them because you're stuck. And and I told you this yesterday. I cannot believe, I know it like down deep in me that I'm supposed to do this thing, because I told you guys, I'll tell you this, and I'm going over 12 minutes, so I really wanted to kind of keep this to 10. But thank you for putting that out there. My condolences to you, Ronald. I think you know how to contact me if you need anything from me, but I definitely invite you to participate in the 21-day opportunity where we're going to focus. We're going to do meditation first, the I Am meditation, raising our vibration, and then we're going to also work on these higher vibrations like love and peace and joy and forgiveness and willingness and things of that nature. And we'll focus on that for 21 days, and also looking at losing the weight. Excuse me for that, I'm bouncing around on the camera. But what I was going to close with, right before I started doing all this, everything I teach, everything I've taught for 20, 25 years, I've lived it in my life. That's why when it gets delivered, it comes from a place of conviction, because I know it to be true, because I practice the laws. And so before, when I heard that I was supposed to put together these small products, I didn't understand why. All I did was say yes. I had to learn the lesson of saying that like 20 years ago, but I said yes, yes. And now I see, when I was putting this thing together, I had the verbiage. I had a different verbiage for the title of everything. And in the course of 3 days, I lost my keys 3 times. And I was frustrated. I couldn't understand, like, what in the world is going on? Like, how am I losing my keys? I lost my keys so much that I went and bought myself whatever that key fob is so that I can find my keys. I haven't lost them since. But that whole thing was getting me to a place to see that it's about the keys and how to unlock that which is within you, which is, you have the time right now. You are in this place for you to lose the weight, the WAIT, and whatever your gift is, and begin to develop it such that it comes on the physical plane, because we will need that. when this crisis is over. You're very welcome. Thank you so much. I'm going to end this. I don't want to be on here. I just want to share myself with you guys. Extend that invitation for the 21-day opportunity. I'm using the term opportunity because I don't want it to be a challenge. I don't want to be talking about challenges right now. And again, it is whatever you want to call it. If you want to call it a challenge, then it'll be a challenge for you. If you want life to be an opportunity for you, life will be an opportunity for you. So with that said, you guys have a good day. I'll be back on. I'm not quite sure what time. Of course, I'm working from home pretty much all day until after 4. But I may come on. It depends on how I feel. I may come on around lunchtime, which I think everybody will be taking a lunch and they can, afford to kind of get on and just chat about how you're feeling right now. Because again, I'm concerned about your I'm concerned about your mental body, and I'm concerned about your emotional body. If we take care of those bodies, then the physical body will have to line up in form with those. So again, you guys have a good day. Namaste.